Hi, how are you?
Hello.
We're here, everybody. Promise. You knew we'd come eventually. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that have to happen before we get on here, and if it's not done, we can't get on here right at 12:30. So we're doing the best we can. Hi. And if we would have said 1, we'd be here at 1:30. So it's just the way it is. That's how we work. Hi, everybody. I'm Marley Bird. That's my best friend, Robin Chichula over there. And we are marleybird.com. Welcome to Mondays with Marley, where you can come, sit down, relax, have a cup of coffee, maybe a Mr. Pibb, pull out your knitting or your crochet and enjoy the conversation. Sometimes some lunch and learns, sometimes some giveaways, and sometimes some big announcements. We try and have a lot of fun over here. Try not to keep things too incredibly serious. There are times we have seriousness, but other than that, we're doing great. Hey, happy belated Easter or Passover, whichever one you want me to tell you.
I mean, we celebrate both, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what side of the family you're talking to.
It was a nice a little time. It was very, very rainy here. So the track meet for the high school was canceled. So I got to go to the college meet. So it was rainy there too, but I guess it wasn't like tornado rainy, which it was here. So completely different sort of rainy. But
it's so weird because I always feel like we get your weather like 6 to 8 hours later. No rain.
Really? Oh yeah. It was a lot of rain. Like we woke up, so we weren't sure. The track team, we weren't sure if our meet was going to get canceled, but they said they would announce it about 5 a.m. So of course my body wakes up like at 4:45 on Saturday. And so I'm like, all right, so I'm up and I'm just waiting. And then a signal came on the phone, like, hey, be warned for thunderstorms. And then all of a sudden the sirens were going off, like the tornado sirens. And I'm like, all right, everybody up. And let's figure out what's going on, rally the troops. And of course, at that point, everybody's like, hey, the track meet's canceled. We're like, well, duh. So that was good. And so we called at Josiah and we were asking, we're like, is it raining there? Or are you guys having the meet there? Because it was in Terre Haute. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. And he's like, it's raining here too, but right now they're saying they're still going to have it. They're going to call it by 10 o'clock. And so they were like, yep, we're good. And so we all left. Jordan came with us to go watch him. And it was nice. It was a nice time.
That's great. I'm so glad that you got to see him. And,
because I don't get to see him next weekend. But other than that, I have been working hard behind the scenes all week on what was called Tournament of Stitches.
Yeah.
And honestly, because we are not doing it in March, which is the whole reason behind the idea of Tournament of Stitches, because of the March Madness tournament. Right. And I want to still have Tournament of Stitches. I was like, you know what? Let's just make it a whole new Make-Along of its own. And we could do this every year. So we have what I wanted to call the Prismatic Yoke Make-Along, which I think it's so much easier to say. But the consensus in the Marley's Minions group was that's too long. It needs to be shorter, short and sweet. Prism Make-Along. If I say Prism Make-Along, how many of you heard prison? Prism Make-Along. Not prison. Prism. That's what it is. So we have the Prism Make-Along with Marley Bird, not to be confused with Prison.
I
So,
don't know what kind of Make-Along that is.
A prism?
A prison Make-Along.
Oh, a prison. Yeah, I have no clue.
No.
I have no idea. So yeah, we have the Prism Make-Along, and we are going to make the Prism Path Swancho for knitters and the Spectrum Stitch Swancho for crocheters. So those are the two actual projects that we will make in the Make-Along. And yeah, that's what we're going. Cindy, I can't use kaleidoscope because I've used that before. I've used that term before for a very similar piece, which is why we went with something different. So yeah, it's exciting that we're like, okay, so we have a whole new one. And then I took all of the colors I was using and essentially put it into like a data feed sort of thing. I was like, hey, make something with these colors. Like, give me scribblies and geometrics. And it came out with this really bright color. And then I put all the text on there, and it was fun. So I like what we have. So this is the official announcement that the Prism Make-Along with Marley Bird will begin on May 1st. This is a free Make-Along with a VIP experience upgrade for both the knitters and crocheters. Sorry, guys, there is no like buy crafty option. If you want both, you have to buy both. It's the nature of how intense this is. I just, that's what it has to be. And I put the price down as literally as low as I could possibly get it for the amount of content and time you're going to spend on all of this. I know you'll love it. I know there are diehard Marley Birdhouse fans in here. Raise your hand if you're one of them. If you're watching on the replay, let us know in the comments. And you can testify that the Birdhouse is really, it's very, very, very valuable. That's not to say that the free version is not valuable, but today I thought, Robin, we could talk about, what yarn are we using? Are there substitutes? Do they have to use that yarn? What is included in the VIP that the free might not be getting? And what is the overall schedule?
I think that's great.
Talk about skill level, like what do you need at skill level? What do you need?
Yeah.
A bunch of things. Lots of hands going up. Oh, I love all my Marley Birdhouse fans in here. That's fun. I'm going to turn up my audio a little bit because I'm having trouble hearing you just a little. So if I start to get feedback, let me know.
Okay.
It's just, I'm just deaf is all it is. My kids proceeded to tell me that all weekend how deaf I am. And it's my right ear from having pneumonia last year. I still cannot, I don't have full hearing for it. I know I don't. So where do we begin? I'm going to take a sip of water.
Well, let's start with what your inspiration was. I know you have it right near you, don't you?
I do. It's right here.
Okay.
So, and this was inspired by the kaleidoscope poncho. So this here, I'm going to step back. This is the Harmony Swancho. And this was born as I was demonstrating how to make the kaleidoscope poncho. I do not enjoy knitting things twice. It's not something I really like to do when it's bigger projects like this. Hence like the Lorelei. You guys, that was really hard for me to knit 2 sweaters.
Yeah.
So as I was making this one for the kaleidoscope, I decided, okay, I'm going to change up the stitch patterns. I'm going to make something different. And so I was essentially going to make this into a poncho. And as I kept going, I'm like, you know what? I would really like to have sleeves on it and make it a swancho. So that's what I did. I made it. I changed the color work so that it stopped before where I'm going to put my sleeves. So that way the color work stops. Then I have a couple of rows of stockinette. And then I divided for the sleeves. I added stitches for the body, and then I just knit in the round. And I absolutely love this thing. I love it so much. And of course, like we have so many buy crafty people in here, and they're like, I love the knit one. Where's a crochet one? I'm like, I didn't do a crochet one. And I've been putting it off for so long, and crocheters are still asking for it. So when I decided I was going to go ahead and move forward with then the Tournament of Stitches, I decided that this would be really good because there's a variety of stitch patterns that you're using. So that's where this started from. So the swancho that you would be making is essentially, it's going to look like this in shape, but it will have different different stitch patterns completely. And then you can choose whatever colors you want. This was made using Peyton's classic wool, which you absolutely could use for the knitters. If you guys wanted to substitute stuff, you could do that. Peyton's classic wool. Crocheters, you need DK weight. You need a thinner weight yarn.
We'll talk about yarns in a minute. But like basically the concept is you're making a swancho. And a swancho is just a funny word, is a poncho and a sweater.
Mixed together.
Making a baby. It's really oversized and loose.
Do you need me to put it on?
Yeah, so you can see it.
I'll put it on. Go ahead, keep talking.
And so like Marley was saying, so the one you'll make with this Makealong, completely different stitch patterns, but the shape of it, the size is the same. It's not meant to be a sweater. It's not meant to be tight. Right, Marley? Like,
yep.
It's not something that it's meant to be big. If you make it tight, it will look weird on you.
Yes, it will look weird.
So, yes, it's a lot of knitting and a lot of crocheting, but on purpose. You're not making a sweater. And
well, imagine if this were a poncho, right? You'd want it to keep coming. Like you could, the poncho would stop here, right? And it would just be a poncho. You could do that. And if you guys notice, like this hits right at my elbow bend. So you could make these sleeves longer, but I am always pulling up my sleeves when I have to teach and stuff. And so I stopped my sleeves right there. And it's the best decision I made because I am able to I can do whatever I want. And my sleeves aren't in my way. Like I love this more than you could even imagine, you guys. Like so very much. I wear it all the time. Like I
but for like the flow and the way it fits, it's an oversized garment.
Yeah. Definitely large.
Like it's not a sweater because like sweaters would be much more
fitted. Like here's my armpit.
Yeah. And like there would be much more involved in this. Like the beauty of this is that you can just enjoy working top down in the round. And you don't have to worry so much about fit because it's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be big.
Yep. And you might think to yourself, yeah, it's a whole lot of stitches, especially like this is the 2X, 3X size. Like this is it's a lot of stitches. And you might think I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to handle that. With all of the color changes and the stitch sequence changes, the motif changes, you just like ignore the fact of how many stitches it is. And you just can't wait to see what the next color is. Yeah. This one, I think had 7 colors used. I think I used 7 colors in this one. The sample for the Prism has 10 colors. So yeah, it's really fun.
So we got 10 colors going on. So think of this as like a party. This is just a party that you're going to have. So the whole Makealong is it, because like I think Marley, when she made that one, she's fast, but like she made that one in less than a week.
Yeah.
This Makealong, we will be.
It's the whole month of May.
Going much, much, much longer.
It's the whole month of May. And I split it up in the way I'm splitting it up is I have it on Thursdays and Mondays. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to give you guys, like you had over the weekend to work on it. And then on a Monday, you have like up most of the week to work on it. Like you have time to work on different sections. And I think it's a doable pace that you absolutely could keep up with, especially
it's nothing that you have to feel like I need to take off of work because I need to knit for 12 hours.
Yes.
It's not like that.
No, it goes pretty fast. Yeah. So that's the Swan Show.
Okay. Let's talk yarn because yarn and colors, they go hand in hand. So knitters and crocheters, you both are using 10 colors. But Marley, tell them the difference.
So with the knitters, what did I just do with all the knit yarn? Here it is. Knitters, you will be using Swish worsted weight. Okay. Let me see if I can go like this. The worsted weight. Okay. Which is not super duper thick. It's thinner than like a Super Savers. That's very important, everybody. You want to make sure that whatever you're using, if you're not using this, you want it to be a similar weight to what we are using. So this is a worsted weight. The crocheters are using a DK. So like this is the DK, and it's just a little bit thinner, just a little bit. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough. I wonder if I could show it this one. It's enough that it makes it better. So as we use the split single crochets, we get, they look exactly the same on here. They're not the same. They look the same on camera. They're not the same.
So using them,
that looks really good.
I forget last time I used them. It was a while ago. The swish worsted is a light worsted. So when it's a range of weights, it's a range of thickness. It's on the light end.
Yes.
But the DK is not on the light end.
No.
The DK is like right in the middle. It's a true DK.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and the reason
we not exactly.
Yeah, the reason we chose DK for the crocheters is, the crochet is genuinely thicker than stockinette stitch in general. And then you add the fact that we're doing stranded color work. It's going to add a little bit more thickness. And then we're doing the split single crochet. So all of those combined together, we wanted to make sure that we're still going to get a fabric that's flexible and not going to be as just stiff, because we don't want that. We want flowiness. So using the DK weight yarn and a size H or a larger crochet hook, depending on whatever you need for gauge, that's a good combination for the way it all works.
Amounts is a lot
because they're 50-gram balls.
Yeah. And that I think is the hardest thing when we're talking about this, is that we're talking about little balls.
Little balls.
And so that's why you need a lot of them.
Like they're teeny.
Yeah. So next thing we need to talk about, like Marley's using 100% superwash wool. And that's important because if you're going to switch yarns, which is fine, everybody substitutes yarns, definitely don't use cotton at all. Like, get that out of your head. You can't use that.
No.
I mean, you could, and then just have something that doesn't fit you and doesn't look right. But like, don't go through the trouble.
No.
I would definitely say that, like, if you don't want to use the swish and you needed a different thing, I would try an acrylic. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
I would, any wool blend will behave okay for you. The way you're going to finish it, especially the knit one, because the blocking in the knit one is important. You might have to block it differently if you're using a different fiber.
Yeah, we'll be like, because the merino has a tendency to overstretch. If you don't control your blocking, it can overstretch. So I don't know if you guys followed along with Chrissy. She recently sent a newsletter out with her kaleidoscope poncho, and she overblocked her neckline, so it's really wide. Yeah. But I will teach you guys what you need to do to make sure you don't do that. But you do want to be careful with a merino when you're doing that.
So the fibers that I would stay away from is I wouldn't use cotton. I wouldn't use bamboo. I wouldn't use linen. All of those fibers, the way that their fibers are constructed is they lay flat. You need something with a little bit of tooth to it. So that's why wool has a little bounce and it's light. You want to think of like a light yarn. And acrylic is an easy substitute because it's man-made and it's naturally a little bit lighter.
What do you think about the Brava recycled acrylic? I think that's a good choice.
I think that's a great choice.
For DK. I'm talking just DK.
Okay. I like the Brava recycled. The reason why I like Brava recycled a lot is because it has more tooth to it than the regular Brava, because of the way that it's the way that they make the yarn, because it's like recycled from mill ends. You don't have as many color choices, but I do like that as a substitute. But wouldn't you use that for the knitting one? What's the size on that?
It's DK. It's
The Brava
DK weight.
recycled is DK.
Mhm.
Oh, well, then
1,
go for
2,
it.
3,
Yeah,
4, 5, 6, 7,
I
8, 9. It only
I
has
like
9 colors, so you'd have to play around with it a
you'd
little.
have to grab one of, if you're grabbing one of the other Bravas or two of the other Bravas to get more colors, you're fine. You'll be fine.
There's also Lion Brand Woolies DK, where it's acrylic wool blend. That wouldn't be a terrible. I'm looking at We Crochet.
Yeah.
So those are some We Crochet options for
Now the
DK.
Brava recycled is on sale right now. So if
Yes.
you did want to switch that out, that's on sale. The recycled Brava, not the regular Brava is not on sale.
No.
But the recycled Brava is on sale, which is
Right.
kind of nice.
And so there's also Lion Brand Color Theory, which is 100% acrylic worsted weight, and that's 15% off right now, it looks like, on We Crochet. I can grab that link also. Oh, hold on, I just had a major brain fart. Oh, if you're going to add another yarn in with the yarn you've chosen, you want to make sure they have the same fiber content. You don't want one ball that's 100% wool and everything else is acrylic. That will not be good. You want them all to be the same. That's what I was going to say. I'm trying to get all of these links here for you. Color Theory is really beautiful. It has some really great stuff to it.
Colors for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk knitting, because a lot of the acrylic worsted weight are going to be too thick.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you recommend that's not wool, but is, the same kind of thickness for the knitting?
So there's the Color Theory is a worsted weight. Oops. And it's not a bad choice.
Is it wool?
No, it's an acrylic.
Okay, so that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Then I'm going to come back over here and look. Heatherly worsted. I think that would work really well. That's a nice thin one as well. Don't you think?
I find Heatherly worsted a little heavy.
Really? Is it because of the amount of acrylic in it?
It must be. It must be. That's what it is. But when we're talking for knitting, maybe it won't matter as much.
Okay.
Don't use it for crochet.
Yeah. Heatherly worsted.
You want it to.
Yeah, the Heatherly worsted, I think that would be good for knitting for sure. Hold on, I'm writing this down. Knitting choices for alt yarns. And we'll eventually do a blog post about all this too, but we wanted to talk about it as we were live with all of you. Yeah. I'm just scrolling through the We Crochet website. Now, Lion Brand Heartland, do not choose that. That yarn is very heavy, and I just don't think it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it would be good at all. I find Mighty Stitch a little heavy too. Do you find it heavy?
I find it heavy too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I find Mighty Stitch heavy. If you want to stick with wool and you want to do wool of the Andes, because it's a little bit different price point, you could do that. Mm-hmm. Vanish Choice is I haven't used Vanish Choice, so I don't know. It looks thick.
I thought Vanish Choice was heavy.
It looks thick.
Years since I've used it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Upcycle Alpaca Blend Worsted is back.
I did see
it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 10 colors, but here's what I'm gonna caution you with this. Alpaca stretches really a lot. So if you're gonna do a colorwork piece with alpaca, you really have to prepare for that. You almost have to knit tighter knowing that it's going to block looser. So even though it's a worsted weight, even though it's a thinner worsted weight, even though you think this is going to be great, I would caution you against it, because you could end up not with the swancho, but with like the train of a dress. Like it could be really, really, really stretchy, because that's what alpaca does. It's just the nature of alpaca. So you do want to be careful with that. For those of you who are thinking maybe you would look into that. Those are provincial tweed.
It's a totally different construction.
Right.
So it's hard to say. I mean, it would look lovely, but it's a very different construction.
I don't think I'd go with it. The twill worsted, I think it's too thick.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too thick.
The twill worsted
You guys
is
know
too thick, and
yeah.
then the other twill is too thin.
Yeah, we love twill. Like
Twill.
I love twill, but it's too
Yeah.
thick when you're looking at the We Crochet website. Now I am going to pop over to Knit Picks because sometimes they have other yarns that We Crochet doesn't have. I don't know why. They're the same company. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Now, I also don't know how many Hirschner's yarns would work either.
Yep, I was going to pop over there.
But like the ones we've been using recently, the Wildflower and the Heathers won't work. They're
too thick.
Mm-hmm.
Brava worsted, obviously we talked about that. We talked about the wool of the Andes. We're using Swish. I will tell you guys honestly, the wool of the Andes tweed, I would not go with that. That's a whole other reason for the provincial tweed. I don't think I'd go with it because of the tweed aspect of it. I don't think it would look good with what we're doing. I don't see, vintage. Vintage would be a good choice.
I like
Barocco vintage.
Barocco vintage is one of my favorites.
Yep, and that's available at Knit Picks. Here, I'll grab a link here for that too. But that has some wonderful colors to it, and that would be a really good choice if you're looking for something that's a little bit different.
It's a really nice yarn. That's a nice yarn.
Copy. Let me come back over here. I'm going to paste it there, and I'll paste it here. Barocco vintage, and that's a blend, isn't it? It's an acrylic wool blend. Yeah, that's an acrylic. It's 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon. So that will definitely hold the weight of your garment.
Yeah.
Now the Barocco Ultra Alpaca, same thing. Like I told you, alpaca is going to stretch, even though this is connected with the Peruvian wool, which tends to have a higher crimp to it, and it will hold the alpaca a little bit more in check. It's still really going to have a lot of stretch to it. So I would caution you, unless you have a bunch of ultra alpaca in your stash that you're like, I'm willing to give it a try. I don't think I would use it for this project. Now, I'm not telling you not to use it ever because I love it. Like, actually, Barocco Ultra Alpaca was the very first fancy yarn I ever bought. Like, it's delightful. Yeah. I really, really like it.
Yeah. And the reason why Marley's being so cautious about it is remember how oversized this garment is. Mm-hmm. This is not a normal sweater. Think of it as like a sweater and a half, or it has just the amount of stitches you have. That's why it has so much weight.
Yeah.
So it's naturally going to want to drape on your body, but you don't want it to
you don't want it to hang
weird, right?
Yeah. You got to let it hold itself. I don't see any other yarns here at Knit Picks that I would choose. So I'm going to go to Hirschner's. Now, while I'm going over there, Robin, as people are looking at the supply list, which we will be providing you guys, right now we have the VIP open. We are going to open up the free information in the supply list for the free version tomorrow. Just letting you guys know that. But if you are looking to substitute, what do they need to do? How do they look at the amount of yarn we say is needed? And then if they're looking to substitute.
What to get. Okay. You have all the links to the VIP in the description box, right?
I do.
Okay, great. So if you're doing it today, obviously VIPers. So you go to your Marley's Birdhouse after you purchase it. And in the supply list is going to have the amounts of yarns. So let's talk about knitting. So for knitting, almost every size of the other colors are all one ball of a 50-gram ball. Knitting for knitting. Your main color, you have a lot more. It varies from I don't know, 7 balls to 12 balls. Now we're talking about 50-gram balls. What you want to look at is the yardage. So when you're comparing different fiber contents, you need to think about your yardage. How much yardage does it have? So if you're looking at something that has 50-gram balls, but the yardage is less than what we called for, you might need more yarn. The way we calculate how much yarn you need is we always calculate it so that if something is close, you're always going to have more than you need. And we never make it so it's we used 49 grams of the 50-gram ball. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We cut it off at 45. So if it's 46, that's 2 balls, because what we find is you need that 10% because of the way everybody floats from behind. All their floats could be different. You could be a looser floater, so then you are using more yarn. Crocheters, you're different. Yes, you're going to have a whole bunch of yarn for your main color, but your contrasting colors, sometimes you need 2 balls for your contrasting colors, sometimes you need 1. So you just need to look. Obviously, if you're going with 100-gram balls, just divide everything in half. Like, you're only going to need 1 ball if it calls for 2. Doesn't matter. The yardage won't matter that much. It's when you're talking about those 50-gram balls, I believe the worsted is like 110 yards. And if you're looking at something that is, instead of 110 yards, is less than 100, I know it's only 10 yards different per ball, but you might have a problem, or you might not. That's the fun of substituting.
All right. So I'm over here at Hirschner's, and all I did is I went up here to yarn and I selected medium, number 4, which is a worsted weight. And so this is what they have available here for the number 4 medium. Now let's just like go through this real quickly. Cotton. Do we pick a cotton?
Nope.
No. Super Saver Bitty Stripes. No, we do not want to variegate like this. We want to try and use solids. Okay. Macrame. No. Everyday worsted gradient. I think this might work. I have played with this, and it's on the thinner side of the big box worsted.
Okay.
Hard part here is that it's a gradient. What did I just say? We want solids, right? So that's trouble there. Cotton. Do we want a cotton? No. And
Absolutely not.
Stuff, especially not this. This is not the cotton we want to use for this kind of no, not that. I've done it before. All right, so I'm going to keep scrolling. So the wildflowers, again, we talked about that. I think it's too thick. I think it's too thick. Flower Power, Karen Simply Soft. Now, besides the fact that this is the party, I would not use Simply Soft. I think it has no life to it. It was like born to be limp, and I don't work for them anymore. I have never liked Simply Soft. I've never liked it. I just don't like it. It's limp. It's drabby. It's splitty. I'm not a fan of Simply Soft. So I would not at all.
I wouldn't use Simply Soft because it's extra processed. So you don't have any of that grittiness. You don't have any of that tooth. It lays flat.
Yeah. It's like a lip noodle. Yarn Inspirations would never give me anything with Simply Soft because they knew I didn't like it. They're like, we don't want to make you lie. I said, good, because I don't like it. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm not seeing anything. Landscapes Renewed. I don't know this yarn. It looks thicker though. It looks on the thicker side. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's too thick. Basic Stitch. That might work. That looks like it would absolutely work.
I think that's fine. Yep.
But there's only 6 colors. Well, if you get the VIP, you'll have a choice to have 6 or 5 or 7 colors. So I like that one. Okay, that's a good choice. Haze, Lattice, Glow. Super Saver is too thick. I would not go with Super Saver. Oh man, this is difficult going through all of them. Red Heart Soft. Now here's the crazy thing. I really like Red Heart Soft. I know I just said what about Simply Soft, but I do like Red Heart Soft.
Well, they're totally different yarns.
They're just completely different. They're still like the processed kind of yarn, but I have always liked Red Heart Soft. I've never been a fan of Simply Soft. But do I think Red Heart Soft would work for this project? No. I just wanted to be clear about that.
Yeah.
So no, I do not think it would work for this project.
But I think everyone can get the idea of like, this is how we go through it, of like, we don't have enough colors. That's too thick. That has cotton. We don't want that. Like, this is how you have to substitute your yarns and have play the game. This is just playing the game.
Yeah. And then if you wanted to go with like a yarn store yarn or something, you were like, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to do like minis. Well, you remember you need 50 grams of a ball. So you'd have to buy a couple minis and stuff, so you kind of have to play the games like that too. Like maybe you have a plethora of like unicorn tails from Makealong and you're like, I'm going to just mix and match a bunch of these. Great. It could be beautiful. It's a matter of, how many colors do you want to use? What fiber do you want to have in there? I specifically chose Swish because it's easily available to the masses, because you can order it. I really like the yarn in general. I just really like the yarn. I like the colors. I like the company. I like the people that work there. I like the fabric that my design ends up with. I have had nothing but great luck with Swish. So I've really liked that. Now there was another option here. Somebody mentioned ultra wool, Barocco ultra wool. I don't know where you can get that, but that is a good choice. The ultra wool instead of ultra alpaca, the ultra wool would be a good choice.
Maybe Web says that.
Yeah. As far as DK, crocheters, it's a little bit trickier, I think, for you because the DK is a little bit hard to find in big box stores, don't you think? Like you're looking for the size like in big box. Like size 3 weight is what you're looking for. Let me look at Hirschner's while we're here. So I went to the size 3 weight at Hirschner's. So Softy Baby.
I'm not saying no.
Softy Baby might work.
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's a problem with that.
I would be willing to swatch with Softy Baby. Where are the colors? How many colors? There are no colors. Well, maybe you have colors. I would absolutely swatch with that. I liked Softy Baby. I've used it a couple times.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No bamboo, no cotton, no tweed. I don't know what Wisp is. That looks pretty. Not very many colors, but that looks pretty. What's the fiber? Acrylic. Oh, it's alpaca. No, don't go there. Especially crocheters. Do not. Hirschner's, it's cotton.
Nope. So no. That's a no, thank you.
That's a no.
What we're doing.
Sorry, guys. I'm just going to keep going through this just so that you guys can kind of have an idea if you're looking for alternate choices.
The Barocco.
And again, don't let...
Remix Light is nice.
The Remix Light? I was going to say, don't let the fact that it says that there's so many balls that you need to get, because I get it, crocheters, you're used to like the really bigger balls typically. Like it's no more than what you normally would need. It's just in a smaller...
It's in a smaller package.
No, this has cotton in
it. I like that yarn though. That's a nice yarn.
That's funny you like it because I do not. I did not enjoy working with it.
I know. I also like Simply Soft and you don't, clearly.
I do not.
I mean, I don't like it for what we're talking about.
Right.
I like it in general.
It's not, I'm not really. Okay, here's a question for you. What if somebody's like, hey, could I get one of these and pull out the colors?
Absolutely. 100%. Have fun.
I just don't know how many colors. If you just want to have some fun with it, go for it.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely pull them apart.
Now this yarn?
Pull it apart all the time.
I don't know how many colors they have. Oh, okay. I love this yarn. I have used this yarn so many times because I used to do work for Willow. You did too, didn't you?
Yeah.
I have used this yarn so many times. It is a wool. It's a wool, superwash wool. I really like this yarn. And it's, I mean, that's a really great price. And they've got some really great colors.
How many, what's the yardage on that?
284.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's 100 grams. Here, I'm going to copy this and give you guys the affiliate link for this. This is a good yarn.
That's a good one.
I like that yarn a lot. I like Willow yarn.
If you're looking for a different price point, this is an easy one to go with. You said two something? Two
copy 284.
Yeah, that one's perfect. You can divide all the numbers in half. So crocheters, you could switch this out, get your yarn quantities, but you just divide everything by half because that's twice the size.
All right. I put it in there. Let me put it over here for you guys. I'm giving you the affiliate links if you want. This is a good yarn. I like this yarn a lot. I've used this yarn before. I like it. Sweet Roll, again, that one you could take it and pull apart the colors. There's not many colors there, but maybe you cleared out Sweet Roll out of Joanne when it closed, and you could use some of your stash yarn here. I'm not seeing anything else here.
And so just to remind everybody, both knitting and crochet have 10 colors.
Mm-hmm.
1 main color, 9 contrasting colors.
Right.
The whole point of this is obviously it's a colorful Makealong.
Yeah, it's colorful.
It's all
meant to get you very excited. Lots of colors.
And on purpose to be fun.
And I mean, we talked about this a little bit before, and people might be like, well, where do I start? Start with your main color. Start with what you want your main color to be, and then choose your other colors from there.
And if you're having a hard time, we did a live with Marley, me, and Chrissy. Go through how we do it. You don't have to come up with the same idea, but you can get the concept of how to choose the colors. And honestly, picking your colors is going to be the hardest thing you do in the entire thing.
Yep.
Entire thing.
Yep.
Now, if you do have a little bit of extra money, I would buy at least 2 more contrasting colors, so that if you're like Marley, because I know I was watching her knit the sample, she decided, nope, I hate that one, and then threw in a new one.
I did.
It just happens sometimes. No matter how much you plan, it just happens.
Well, because I started knitting with it, and I'm like, I don't like this color in here, because it looks one way on my screen, all planned out, and then I put it in. I'm like, I don't like it, so I ended up with different, like just 2 different colors. But I liked it a lot. Okay. So yeah, I would say if you're somebody who, not somebody who, I would absolutely just get 2 extra colors. I mean, I did. So I did all that. All
right. So everything else, remember, if you buy the VIP, you'll get the supply list today. One last thing about the supply list before we go through. Crocheters, you need 1 hook. Knitters, you need lots of needles. So Marley, explain to them why I say that. Like what's going on?
Okay, so before I do that real quick, Julia, if you're looking at VIP and you click on the modules for supply list, you'll see on that very first page, it has to fit sizes and it has them all listed for you. Okay, needles. When you're making this, clearly we start up here, which you don't need a whole bunch of extra length of your needle, right? So you need a relatively smaller needle here, like a 16-inch. And then as your swancho grows and you get more and more stitches, your 16-inch is going to be too crowded. So then you have to go to a longer needle. But here's the other thing. So not only have we just started with a shorter needle to our longer needle, but stockinette in one color has a different gauge than stockinette in a different color with the same needle size. So stockinette in one color will have a smaller needle than you'll do with stockinette in 2 colors. You'll have a bigger needle to make sure that the stockinette matches the same with both of them, if that makes sense. So you'll have to adjust not only needle size, but needle length as you go along. Now on this one, when I got to the bottom, I was using like a 60-inch around needle, and I loved it because I was able to lay it out. I could see it all laid out nice and neat. And then when I got to the sleeves, I used a mini circular, one of those ones from Chaogu. And in the list of supplies, you'll see that I gave you links to actually, like, if you were like, hey, it's time to bite the bullet, I'm going to buy sets. Like, I was like, here are some good sets. But I used circulars here. You could have used double points for the sleeves. And then down here, I used the same size that I had. I think I had a 24-inch up here, and I was able to get them all down. No, that's not true. I went back to a 32, I think, on the bottom down here. I could have kept going with the 60, but my 60-inch Chaogu that cord was for the 9s. And so when you drop to the 8, you need the smaller, and I didn't have a 60-inch in the smaller. But that's why there are so many needles listed.
Well, that makes sense, right, knitters?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to fit the stitches. You got to go all the way around.
Yes.
So you're going to need 2 different size needles at least, and multiple cables. So you need a pair of interchangeable, or you need a ton of needles.
Yeah.
Crocheters, you don't need that. We only work 1 stitch at a time. We don't need that.
You need 1 hook.
You need 1.
Yeah. I was just going to say something now. It's
Well, just thinking of like,
I know what it was.
Things that they need.
Yeah, magic loops. So people will ask, can you do magic loop for the sleeves? You absolutely could. I just don't do magic loop. So if that's something you want to try, then there it is. But could you use straight needles? No. We are working this in the round, so you have to have circular needles. And having stitch markers will be super handy as well. Both a stitch marker to indicate the start of your round, and if you want stitch markers to divvy up all of your repeats, that's really handy as well, so that you can stay on track. It seems like there's a lot going on, but this is a whole host of stuff that happens with this whole,
that's why
Makealong.
That's why it's a Makealong.
That's why it's a Makealong.
Knitters, you're also going to need somewhere to put your stitches because you got to break it up. So you're going to need some sort of stitch holder.
Even whether that's scrap yarn. Scrap yarn will work too.
Scrap yarn or another set of needles. Or stitch holders, whatever you want to use. Again, crocheters, ignore all that. You don't need any of that stuff. Crocheters, you need the hook, you need some stitch markers, you need some scissors.
So see, crocheters, you need all the yarn. Knitters need to go buy all the needles.
It all evens out. It evens out.
It all works out. Yeah. Barber cord. I love barber cord. I have that too. Here's mine right here. I have lots of it, but this is a really great for needle holding stitches. Okay, needles, yarn substitute. VIP is open right now. And then we will be posting more about, the whole free. So everybody can sign up for free as well, so that you can sign up and get the supply list for the free.
Again, it starts May 1st.
Sizes are extra small to 5X, and they're done in groups.
How many weeks does it go over?
The whole month of May.
Okay, so this is a whole month Makealong. Things break up on Monday and Thursdays. You'll get new sections. It's supposed to be enjoyable and be a long one.
Yep.
Let's talk stitches for 1 second.
Sure.
Knitters are mainly you're just going in the round knitting.
You have to learn to knit, purl, and knit front and back.
And the whole technique part of it is really in the color. It's learning how to strand correctly. That's really what's going. Okay, crocheters. You're mainly going to be doing single crochet, split single crochet. And again, it's with color work of, are you working around it, or are you carrying it behind? But you do need to be familiar with split single crochet. So I will say, before this all starts, if you haven't done split single crochet before, I want you to do split single crochet. I want you to make a little something in the round. We did like a coffee cozy, make something in the round so you get used to it. Split single crochet needs to be worked in the round anyway. This is the way the stitch works. But I really want you to test your skills, because I don't want you to get all of this yarn and be like, I hate split single crochet. I want you to be familiar with it so that you're not stressing yourself out.
Yep. All right. So here's a question for you. Will the VIP people get the whole thing at once, or is it broken up like the free version? Yes and yes. So you will get the whole thing at the end, and it is broken up like the free version, but you get things that you can print. Like there's a printable for you for each section. But to make sure that everybody is at the same pace as we're going along during the Makealong, we wait until the very end to give the pattern PDF. I know that's not how all designers do it. We have just found over I've been doing these for 10 years now. Yeah. I found that breaking it up and making sure that nobody has information beyond where we are allows us to keep a rein in on being able to answer the questions, know where you are, being able to encourage other, it just makes things so much easier. So yes, in the VIP, each of those modules, you'll see inside the module, I think I talk about this in the welcome video as well. In the modules, when it opens up, you'll have a lesson. Those lessons could include a video, it could include a chart, it could include a stitch fiddle link, it could include the pattern instructions for that module. So all of those would be in there for you. And so the pattern instructions, those would be just like a one-page PDF or something, whatever it is, that is added just for that module. So say somebody wanted to come in and they just wanted to have that information later on, they could do that. Or they could print the whole ad-free PDF when everything is done and have that available to them. So there's so many different ways that we provide the information.
What's the difference between the free and VIP? What does VIP get versus the free?
Okay, well, so I just announced all that. So the first thing, the most important thing I think is that the VIP is in the Marley Birdhouse and all of the content is in one place. So you don't have to go to marleybird.com and sift through the ads. Like even I don't want to do that. So you get everything in the Marley Birdhouse and it's all given to you in the time that we have regimented. This is dripped out to you, right? So each section is release at a different set in time. And then in there, it's all organized. Just as I said, you have the lesson, which includes the video. So you have the video content exactly where you know whatever chart number 1 is. It has the video there for it, has the instructions there for it. It has the chart there for it. Everything is included in one place. The VIP also will get the stitch fiddle links for all of the charts. And they'll be able to use Stitch Fiddle to help select colors and change colors, change things around. So you get access to Stitch Fiddle when you have the VIP.
Pause. So basically what that means is the free version, you're going to get the chart.
Yeah.
You're going to get the chart, but you won't get access to change the colors.
Right.
So if you want to be able to change your colors and play with your colors, you need to do a VIP.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you get all of those colors. You also get additional charts that if you wanted to do, instead of 10 colors, you wanted to do 5 or 7. I have additional charts that are made up, same stitch patterns, just it's with 5 colors or 7 colors that you'd be able to look at and see, oh, I like this, I don't like this, or whatever. I'm having a brain fart. Oh, I planned on doing a couple of not one-on-ones, but like touch base late night sort of catch-ups. I don't have them listed in the course or whatnot right now because I wanted to play those. I wanted to do those as needed. So like if I found there were a lot of different questions or stuff, I was like, you know what, hey, let's have like a get together Wednesday night, and I would add that in. So we'd have a live session together that you could join in, sort of like a Zoom call. Excuse me. You get the full ad-free PDF. There is a bonus pattern that will be added to the VIP experience at the very end. And it will use yarn that you have remaining. So you will have a project that you could say, oh, I have all this yarn. What else can I make? Well, Marley has a project for you. So right. That will open up at the very end too. So you're going to get a bonus project for the VIP as well.
How about timeline? How long is the free available?
That was the next thing I was going to say. It is unlimited access for the lifetime of the Marley Birdhouse. So you can, if you're like, hey, I am busy the whole month of May, I cannot do this, but I want to have this. So I'm going to buy this now, but maybe I'll tackle it this summer. You absolutely could do that. You could go back in and, everything would be open at that point. You'd be able to access all the content whenever you want, however many times you want. There's no limit on how many times you can download. There's no limits on, the different color combinations you do for your charts. Like all of that is there and accessible to you. Right.
Mm-hmm. But we're free. It will not be available.
It's not going to be free forever. No. Okay. At the end of the Makealong,
we're not going to take it down like right away.
Right away.
We're not crazy.
Yeah.
But it will come down.
It will come down.
So it's not something that you be like, oh, I want to do this later, because it may not be available in July when you want them to start.
Exactly. At that point in time, I would have a PDF available like on Ravelry or Etsy. And even at that, it would be close to $15 because of all the content that would be in it. And so VIP right now is $20.
Right.
Just saying, $20 and you get everything in VIP plus an additional pattern. It's a no-brainer. Right. And that's what we try and do. Try and make it so that it's very easy, especially right now with the economic times that we're in.
And none of us know what we're doing.
I mean, I could have put this out there for like $30 or $40 for the amount of information that's in there. And I was like, no.
It's a big course, but
Yeah.
look at it as more of like $20 worth of enjoyment. Your big layout is going to be with yarn. Like it's definitely going to be with yarn. You definitely probably, I mean, if you have the stash like mine, you'll be able to find something in there that works. And you might just need to buy more of the main color.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This is a question. Melinda, I am not planning on adding left-handed videos at this time. I just don't have the time to make a whole additional set of videos. So no, there will not.
I don't want that to scare off our left-handed crocheters because you don't need left-handed videos. You're going in the round.
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over and over.
It's not like a motif where you might be doing something different. Your shaping might be different. It doesn't matter which direction you're going.
No, it's the same thing. I so love the Marley Birdhouse. It's full of all the content I need, along with the extras, bonus patterns, PDF, videos, etc. Hands down, best investment I made for myself. Stacy, that's fantastic. There was another one here. Somebody asked a question or not asked a question. They made a comment about a whole month's worth of entertainment for $20. Seems like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just scroll up in the comments because I haven't been able to look at all of them. Like I'm just now starting to look at them.
In terms of cost, like usually our patterns are not cheaper than $10 because we have so much in them. And so like Marley said, if you get the VIP, you're going to get the Swancho and then you get one additional. Oh, I know. There was a question about your harmony. Oh, so when you go and buy VIP, we call them bumps. It's like this little extra like pop up at the bottom. So harmony, the one Marley's wearing, is not included in the course. It's it was the inspiration sweater.
Yeah. But if you wanted to buy it, it's at a deep discount. So like if you're in there buying the course and you're like, oh, it says I could add on the harmony sweater. Do I want to do that? You just click the toggle and you can add it on for, I don't know if it's $5 or $10. I can't remember. I think it's and then you could have this. And what's great is what you will be learning in the course, you can absolutely use and apply to this as well. So like you could have a whole nother set of content there for you. And then you'll also see there's an option for the knitters to check out Stitch Night by Crafty Stitch Night, which is a fantastic course collection of patterns that I put. I mean, it's just really great that you can check out. For crocheters, I struggled finding other colorwork type patterns to include. So I included one of my favorite crochet pattern. It's an entrelac. It's a single crochet entrelac pattern that uses a long color changing yarn. So I love the fact that it's a way to use a long color changing yarn and get something distinct. Or if you wanted to change a bunch of different, or change like the tiers to different colors, you could do that. So I thought that was just a fun little addition. And that was added, I think that one's $5. It's not that expensive at all. But I added it in as an offer bump as well. Okay, so let's see here. Mindy says, I was looking at Shipia's, that's how you say it, right? Shipia's Color Crafter because I have because there are a million colors. I've never used that, so I cannot give a proper
but it's a great one to go check out. Like definitely go check out their whole line. And keep doing like the way we would go.
Right. So we did answer this, but I want to mention it. How would Hirschner's worsted heathers work for the knitted one? I would not. It's too big.
It's gonna be too big.
Yeah. And somebody mentioned also that Vanna was too big. Let me keep going. Ultra wool. That was Cindy mentioned the ultra wool, which I think is great. Cascade 220 superwash. That would be a good choice. Absolutely would be a good choice. And there are a ton of colors in Cascade 220 superwash. That would be for the worsted. Do they have a DK in Cascade 220?
Cascade has everything.
Cascade has everything.
Love Cascade.
I am such, you know what the craziest thing is here in Indiana? None of the yarn stores here in Indiana carry Cascade.
Really?
And it's the weirdest thing. Every
That's
yarn
so
store
sweet.
in Colorado carried Cascade. And
Yeah,
so
like it was like their
it's a staple.
basic yarn.
Yeah. I
Everyone
love
had.
Cascade. I absolutely love Cascade. So yeah, if you guys want to go with Cascade, I absolutely highly recommend it. And I will add that to my list of alternatives for people to check out for sure. Let me keep scrolling down here. Karen Simply Soft, we answered that question. No. The answer to that is no. Dream in Color Classy at Jimmy Bean's Wool. Would that work? I haven't used it. Is it worsted weight or DK weight? I'm not sure. My guess is yes, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not really sure. It says that they're on sale right now, is what she is telling me. Heartland is too thick and too heavy, Barb. Yep, I would not do Heartland. Is Swish worsted less splitty than the fingering? I have a terrible time with splitting. I don't find it splitty at all. I have had no problem with it splitting. Nope. And I would tell you, Simply Soft splits like a mother. Marley, what you have on now? How many? 7. 7. All right. I'm just keep scrolling here trying to make sure I have enough. I'm answering all the questions. Jimmy Beans has Ultra Wool. Great. I have an affiliate link to there, so I will make sure to give you guys that. Super Saver, is that too thick for knitting? Yes. Absolutely. And you would not enjoy knitting it. Also, you would not enjoy knitting colorwork with Red Heart Super Saver.
It's too thick.
Yeah, you would not like it. Yeah, I did answer this, but I'll mention it. What sizes are the garments? I see 4-ball listed, but no corresponding sizes. So I mentioned this already, but in the course, when you open up the supply list, like you open up the module immediately, it gives you information in the description. It says that it's an intermediate. It says to fit sizes, extra small, small, and medium. Okay, so that's all one size. That's your first size. Your second size is the large, extra large. Your third size is 2X, 3X. Your fourth size is 4X, 5X. So the range as far as bust sizes there, it's for sizes 28 to 38 inch bust would be the first size. For sizes 40 to 46 inch bust, you'd be the second number. For size 48 to 54 inch bust, you'd be the third number. And 56 to 62 inch bust, you'd be the fourth number. Now, why did we give you to fit sizes instead of like, oh, here are the actual measurements? Because it's big. And if people don't watch this and they're like, what does she mean? It's a 60-inch finish and I'm only 30 inches. I have no idea if that's it. Like they're going to be like, no, I shouldn't make that. And that's not the way it is. It's so oversized that if I'm like, oh, you need 20 inches of positive ease. Again, that's not true. I'm just making crap up. But you would be like, oh, I'm not doing this. No, so if you're fit this size, this is what you make. Like I am a 53-inch bust. 53. This is what you make. All right. So hopefully that is helpful.
And I think 20 inches is correct because I think it's around. I think it's around 72.
So there you go. I was just pulling a number out.
I know. It does sound crazy, but it makes sense because that would be like, when you're holding it, how much big it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it needs. It's a very cozy.
Yes. Cindy, yes. I 100%, 110% recommend ChiaoGoo needles. I love them very much. I use them all the time. I have like 4 or 5 sets. I love them. And they've always been very supportive of everything I do too. Just as a side note, they've always been really great with supporting different things. Here it is, $20 for 31 days of entertainment, cheaper than Starbucks or a movie. Or McDonald's if you've been there lately. Or Culver's. Okay. Reading charts. It's real simple. Split single crochet is my nemesis. I avoid it like the plague. You sound like Robin. Let's see here. Okay, so Julia is responding to that. It used to be mine too, but I have learned it took a long time to loosen my stitches, so it makes it easier for the next row. That's the whole trick. Yep. You just have to make sure it's easy. They're nice and loose. So
I know we talked about the Brava DK, but like that was the last thing I made in split single crochet in the round, I think. And it was very easy to use.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy doing it, but it was very easy to use.
Right. Each one is $20. Each one is $20. Let's see here. I'm trying to scroll down to get to many of the questions. Charge to the tune of that one shot. Oh, shot. Charge. That's funny. Took me a second to get there. Okay, Melinda asked. She's like, third time asking. Okay. I won a pattern course from a different designer. It was one cardigan for $49. Yeah, we've seen those courses. Which always, I mean, it makes us have like an internal question. We're like, are we undercharging? And at the same time, we're like, probably. But we want to make sure everybody has a chance to be a part of it. So there you have it. Never heard of Cascade, and I live in New York. What? Huh. You need a day trip to Wool & Company in Illinois. They have all the yarns and free shipping. I mean, I'm up for a day trip. I'm up for a day trip. Lion Brand ZZ Twist for knitting. I haven't used it. Have you?
I have, but I can't remember the content. That my only thought was like the fiber content. That's what I can't remember. I remember liking it.
I haven't used many Lion Brand yarns, so I'm not sure. No, neither one of these will work.
Yeah, they're too big.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all the questions. Leslie says, seriously. Seriously. And then of course, I mean, we mentioned Payton's classic wool. It's a good choice for knitters for sure. Yeah. I mean, ideally, do I want you to use Swish? Yeah, because I know it works. But do I understand if you have to switch and use something else? Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're not crazy.
No judgment whatsoever.
No.
I just want to make sure that you're aware of what we know will work, won't work. Like if it's cotton, it's out. If it's alpaca, it's out. If it's silk, it's out. If it's bamboo, it's out. Like none of those. And if a fiber is similar to those content, like Simply Soft, it's out. You know what I mean? If it's too thick, if it's thicker than what our yarn is, it's out. Those are the things you really have to be aware of and think about the most. So all of this begins, like we said, May 1st. May 1st, everything will open up. The free version will have videos in the Marley Bird YouTube channel, and the VIP, you will have those. We put them in Vimeo. So I pay for Vimeo to house specific videos, so there are no ads to them, so that you can
check out Julia's comment.
If we ever have a retreat, Julia better come, because I swear she's our people. That is, girl, I showed you guys my own box of colors. I bought all of that Swish. I bought all of it. They did not give me the Swish. That's a whole other thing, y'all. The people are like, oh, she's only using that because she got the yarn given. It was not given to me. I bought all of it. I bought all of it.
No, we actually do like most of the We Crochet yarn.
Really a lot.
Like a lot.
a lot. Like it's very exciting. Every time I get a chance to use it, I'm like, this is really great. Yeah. I totally lost my train of thought of what I was saying.
That's okay. Don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Good enough.
All right.
Got questions?
So, are there any other questions while you guys have us here about any of this? It looks like you guys are all checking out the birdhouse stuff. So I sent you links to the birdhouse, to the specific courses in the birdhouse. So that way you could just get a quick link there. And then it's like, hey, I want to buy this. You click that and it will take you to the Thrivecart page. The reason I didn't send you directly to Thrivecart is because if you don't know what you're getting into and you went directly to Thrivecart, you'd be like, what's happening here? It'd be confusing. So that's why I put the link out there for you. Go to Marley Birdhouse. You can see, oh, and again, it gives you an idea too. This is what we're looking at. This is what it's going to look like. And so, I mean, I spent a lot of time filling all that stuff out. So I want you to look at it. It's a lot of work, man. Yeah, so that's how that is. Let's see here. Time for an interview with Caitlin on We Crochet to talk about all the Swish purchases. I hope so.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. It'd be nice for the higher beings at We Crochet to be like, why is all the Swish gone? Oh, it's Marley Bird Makealong. All right, we should do something with her. That'd be great. That would be fun. Anyways, okay, so that's it on my end. Now I am in the process of filming everything. So I am filming everything to get everything up in Atom. You are in the process of formatting all the patterns and getting those ready to go. So we are moving strong over here to make sure everything's ready on your end over there. Yeah, if you have any questions, please make sure you leave them in the comments below. Leave them in the comments below. We'll answer them as much as we can. My goal is to try and get, my goal is to get a blog post up for the free version. So that way you can sign up to get the supply list, because you will have to sign up for the free version to get the supply list. And then we will be off to the races. Yeah, that's how that is. Whew. Tell your friends.
And yes, Leslie, there's tons of Swish left, because I was just on the website today.
I mean, they told me there was a lot of Swish. That was one of the reasons we used it. Is there's
tons, and like the things that are out of stock don't even bother me. Like there's a lot of good colors left.
Yeah, and like we said, start with what you want your main color to be. Like, and it could be dark, it could be light. Like my main color of the knit is this. My main color of the crochet is this.
Totally different.
Completely different. So, have fun. Pick your main color first and then go from there.
Yeah.
Be like, I like these colors together. Have fun. All right. That's it from us, everybody. I'm very excited for you to join the Prism Make-Along. If you are not already, come be a part of the Marley's Minion by Crafty community over on Facebook. It is a safe place on the internet where we only talk knitting and crochet, and share your projects and cheer each other on all the time. Until then, I'll see you next Monday, where we will definitely, we will have a lunch and learn. We didn't give away. I picked a winner. Where did I pick? I picked a winner. Gosh darn it. I picked a winner. I got to find where I picked it. Maybe I'll pick a new winner, and then the old winner, I'll pick it for next week. All right. I'm in the community, and I'm going to type in Mondays with Marley. Sorry. So this is what it's like if you're at my house for dinner. It's like, oh yeah, and then, oh yeah, and then. Okay. I am going to most recent. And did you see that Stacy has out of your elephants?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I love it. Yeah. She was making them for pets, which fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
All right. So Sharon Wheeler Anderson. Let me share my page so you can see. Sharon, are you seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharon.
Hello, Sharon. I love it when you show a picture. And she's wearing a Disney shirt while I'm at Disney. I mean, it's like the worlds came together and everything's perfect. So, Sharon, congratulations. Winner, chicken dinner. Please send an email to Chrissy. I always tag Chrissy so that she knows what's coming. To claim a free pattern. Contact at Mart. You think I know how to type. Awesome. So there you go. Congratulations to Sharon. Yay. Very cool. So we actually did it. I remembered. Yay. Very cool. Okay, that's it. Now I really am going to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday and stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.